Good morning all, welcome back to Off-Road Crusader. And coming to you live from a very scenic location, my shed, where we're going to be going through a little bit more about the Altitude Rooftop tent. I've had it now for a few months. I've taken it on more than a dozen trips, found where it works really well, what doesn't. I've customized it a little bit, and I'm now looking forward to, well, what else do I want to change about it? What do I want to upgrade? What do I want to make different? And that's where these videos are going to come in helpful, because maybe if you're looking at an Altitude Rooftop tent, you may want to watch these and think, okay, yep, I'd like to do that for myself. No, that doesn't apply to me. Gives you some options and gives you a little bit more information. So the first thing we're going to do is fix the entrance to the Altitude Rooftop tent. Massive downside to the rooftop tent is obviously you're up, you're on top of everything, you're exposed to the elements, which is obviously great for wind and, you know, getting a bit of cool air. But when it's raining, you tend to cop it all. And as soon as you open a nice big hole in the side of your rooftop tent, the wind decides to change and you get rain in there. So the best thing you can do is put some sort of awning over your entranceway. Some rooftop tents will have these built in as like a built-in awning or an annex or whatever they want to call it. The alley cab had one over the back door. I ended up putting one on the side as well. And some other rooftop tents come with them already pre-made. This one here, it's a optional accessory you can add. Not everyone wants one. Not everyone camps in the wet weather. So it's not something you have to pay for if you're not going to use it. But if you are going to use it, then it's an optional accessory you can add. So there is an awning kit that we're going to install today. Basically attaches up here. Comes down, protects over around here, allows you to get in and out of the tent without getting wet, which is fantastic. Also allows, if I want to leave this whole door nice and open and allow a lot of airflow into the tent if I want to. And it gives that little bit of protection over the entranceway, which I think is really important. So that's the first thing we're going to do. The next thing we're going to do is fix this. This is probably the biggest downside with the Altitude tent, and it's also probably the easiest fix as well, is we're going to move the power inlet for the rooftop tent from out here to underneath the tent, which I think will keep it all nice and flush mounted, and then I don't have to look at it all the time. For my setup on the 200, you've got obviously the tailgate comes up. I've had to shorten this Anderson plug already. The cable then has to do a 180-degree turn straight away, and I've tried to neaten that with some black electrical tape, but it's just started to fall apart from the weather, and we can make it look much, much nicer. So we're going to fix that as well. So if you're fitting all this up before you actually put the tent on the car, it's a hell of a lot easier. If you're vertically challenged like me and you don't have ladders all over the place, I've just lowered the roof of the rooftop tent down slightly so I can obviously reach everything from just using the ladder. Step one of what we need to do is there's a tiny little bracket up here that stops the end of the sail track. It's got a little push clip in there. Just going to push this off. Anyone who's worked on a car would recognise these little clips. Trim removal tool or a flathead screwdriver will easily get rid of that. Pop it out. You don't want to break it, so keep that aside. Pull the bracket out of the way. It's just a simple little bracket. You can now thread the top part of the awning zip into the sail track there. Make sure when you're putting it on, it sort of looks like that. Though the big teeth are facing towards the top, you can't see the zipper, and then obviously the lower section down there. So that way the zipper should be between you and the tent, if that makes sense. You'll get a few steps down and realise you've done it wrong if you don't do it this way. So we're going to thread that in. It's a bit hard to show you, but so with the top zipper in and pushed far enough down, we can put this bracket back into place, put the little clip back in, and move on to the next bit. Next, we need to measure out 445 mil from the end of the track up to this point here. That'll line up with the little hole at the end of our top zipper. So we need to measure that out. So 445 right there. So with our spot 445 mil from the end of the track, we can now drill a hole upwards through the aluminium extrusion, and you need a hole of about 5.2 mil. So with that hole drilled, you can then take one of your large rivets. Mine are all silver, the larger ones. You're going to go through your canvas, through the hole, and then you're going to rivet it in place. Bang. Beautiful. Now it's time to do the same thing on the other side of the strip. So I'm just putting a little bit of tension on the canvas, line up my hole. Boom, and there she goes. And that's the top section, all done. So now it's time to sort out the bottom brackets that will hold the spring poles. It's a little bit hard to do on camera, but I thought I'd just draw it all up on some masking tape anyway. So you need to mark 80mm from the handle and 43mm down from the bottom of the rubber strip, and find sort of like a square location. That's where these brackets are going to go. So we want the larger bolt holes facing that way. We're going to line that up with those. Mark our holes where we need to drill our holes. We're then going to drill two 6mm holes through the fiberglass of the tent, and there's a backing plate that'll marry up to this bracket. We then put 2 bolts through and that'll hold that bracket in place. To tighten these up, you'll need a T30 Torx bit. From here we can attach our window pole stays, little brackets to hold them on. They just pass through with a nut and a bolt. I think this whole bracket really could have been just one assembly, rather than bolting together different extrusions to get the right shape. Probably could have all just been the one shape, but I'm not an engineer, so I don't know. There we go. That's our one bracket done. Time to do the other side. And there's our bottom brackets done. So the last step of this install is putting the attachments on the corners for these sides. They go around the side of the tent here and give you a lot of protection over that doorway. So we're going to jump into that next, but we're going to get inside the tent to do the last little step. So we're inside the tent, as you could probably tell. We're going to be working in the corners here, mainly on the outside faces, so the front and the back face of the tent. We've got these cotton reels, as they're called, throw it around, which is like a little nylon button thing with a base. They're going to get installed on the outside of the tent, but we need to drill a hole to put a rivet through, and you can't do that from the outside. So we're going to do it from the inside. So peel your mattress back. The instructions say to remove the mattress entirely, but bugger that. Just fold it in half and do one side at a time. And we need to measure out a certain spot on here, so down here somewhere, drill a hole, and then from the outside we rivet this little thing into place using a lovely little black rivet. All right, so we want to measure to a spot. We need to go from the corner. We need to go 35mm in, and we need to go, what is it, 20mm up on that point. We go 20mm, that's our spot there. From there we can drill our hole. Beauty. All right, so now we can install this little beauty. We need to do it from the outside, and we need to do it with that coming through there. So that'll come from the outside, pop rivet it in place, and we're done. We'll do the other corner as well, and then we can finally see what it all looks like when it's set up. Let's see how this goes, eh? Just doing it with the force, there we go. Look at that, and that pulls that canvas like close to the tent as well. See if I can get this one too. Oh, that one's easier. Oh, look at that. That looks great. The little nook where the ends of these poles go. One slots in there, one goes in there. Look at that. It stops that from draping in the center. I'm really happy with this. This is fantastic. Okay, now for the important test. Can I pack this awning away without having to dismantle the whole thing? Because you can unzip it up the top, but I just think, if you're going to have wet canvas, I don't want to be rolling up and packing it out somewhere. If I can roll it up and leave it against the tent, that'd be fantastic. So let's give that a go. One tuck that in there. Square edge. This might end up being the one thing you need to tuck as the tent starts packing away. Look at that. That's a massive win in my book. And then when I pull up at camp, I can just open the tent as it's going up. I can then start getting out these window poles. Look at that, and before that's taut, I can add these. Look at that. So by the time that all moves to its full height, I can set my little side awning up. That's so cool. Good on you, Sandy. You made an awesome product, mate. All right, so we're up the back of the Altitude. Sounds funky. 12 volt input, you can see there. See how much it sticks out. That's the Anderson plug input, which I think is probably not the best spot for it. So we're going to move it from there to under there so that it's flush mounted against there, which will be easy enough to do. Just so you can see, that's behind it. So obviously the Anderson plug there, that's the main power lead. There's a fuse here as well, and that then runs back to the rest of the harness and into the brains of the stuff. So all I'm going to do is take that Anderson plug off. I'm going to disassemble the Anderson plug, so I just got the pins, drill a new hole through the floor of this, mount the Anderson plug up, and put it back together. I'll just show you what it looks like afterwards because it's really difficult to film here, so let's go.
Few inches later.
Well, we're on the home stretch for this little job. It's actually come out really neat. I've just moved the cord from there. You can see where it goes down through the bottom. I painted the Anderson plug black, and it's actually really neat. So I'm going to do the one on the other side. Change out this one. This is the one I cut. So I've got a new one that I've just waiting for the paint to dry, and then I'll swap that over, and that should look really, really good. That plate, I just put a bit of tape over it for now. I'd like to cut out a nice metal plate to go here, but we can cross that bridge when we come to it. I thought I'd show you this as well. So on the side here, I've mounted it to I've got the base rack awning blades, the mounting blades, Altutude crossbars, which were from obviously the Altutude what I had before, and you can see how the tent mounts to there. I've put the K-On 270-degree awning brackets. These are the universal type because I could get them to sit underneath the tent, which you can see where they sit on there. It obviously spaces it up, and that all goes on there, so I've had to use longer bolts to mount the tent on, and then space the other side as well with rubber spacers. I'll show you that in a bit. And then the 270 awning, so that sits out a fair way. It's out even further. The ladder rail and the light and everything, I've taken off the wiring and stuff. Everything just unbolts, which is fantastic, unscrews. I've taken it all out, taped up all the wiring, so that's no longer protruding so far out, so I could pull the awning a little bit closer. Initially I was like, oh, I need to do it to keep the lock, which you can see that there's a lock mechanism further up there, but I reckon I can probably pull it in a little bit further and reduce that gap. I'd really love the awning to be like right over the top of the car body, but that can be a job for another day. I've got another like probably 20 mil I could bring it in by, but we'll cross that bridge later. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you that because there's no real documentation of awnings with these tents yet, and I thought, you know what, I'll have a play and see what I can come up with, and this is what I come up with, and it actually works really, really well. Allows for the height adjustment with those K-On brackets. When it comes around, I can't really move the tent any further back towards the back of the car because of obviously where that awning bracket sits. Also where the mounts are. So these mounting rails obviously are fixed, and inside is a slide plate, and this is as far out as you can get the slide plate. So if I move the tent any further forward, it won't mount up on these rails, and if I move it further back, it'll touch the tailgate and the outer arm of the 270 awning that sort of sits between the tailgate spoiler and the tent when it's all open and set up. Yeah, anyway, so I can probably change that a bit, but I just thought I'd show you that yes, you can put a 270 awning with your Altitude tent. You just got to get a bit creative. The last thing I'll show you that I've changed in the tent while I wait for that paint to dry is this. So this is a 50mm memory foam mattress overlay. mattress topper, whatever you want to call it, that I bought from Spotlight. It's a double. Mattress is exactly a double size, so it went straight on. Put that on top of the standard mattress. The standard mattress is surprisingly comfortable, and if you want to just leave it like that, you can. But this memory foam topper fits really well, and the best part, the tent still folds all the way with it in place, and it means it is super duper comfy. So yeah, if you've got an Altitude tent and you want to make it that little bit more comfortable, think about adding a memory foam topper. You may need to be creative when you pack your bedding away to get it all to sit nicely. I've found if you sort of bunch it into rows that line up with the vaults in the ceiling, it all packs away really, really nicely. So yeah, anyway, that's the last little modification I've done to the Altitude. So that's us pretty much done. I've added a little bit more of customization to the Altitude tent now. I think made it more functional and improved upon what I think was already a really, really good design. Made a few little tweaks which I believe make it better. Everyone's going to be a little bit different, but I think that what I've done there has just made it so much more of a better rooftop tent. The side awning I'm really, really stoked with. It's come out really well. It sits really well, it fits really well. The installation was actually pretty straightforward. And I'm really happy that it can be left on the rooftop tent and I don't have to disassemble it and pack it away every single time. It's fantastic, I love it. And I think the other thing, if ARB, if you're listening, going forward, change that Anderson plug on the back there. That's so much better. Even like I've just painted those Anderson plugs black and you can't even see them. They're fantastic. Nothing poking out anymore. Looks like it's meant to be there. It's really, really good. If you want to support the channel, I do have some merch that's available. So I've got awesome shirts like these. I've got stickers, I've got patches. I've also got mugs as well. So send me a message if you're after one of them. Look, every single purchase goes a long way to helping support the channel. Lets me know that you guys are interested in what I do and gives me that little bit of inspiration to keep moving forward with what I do as well. I also have a Patreon page. My patrons get to see all of this stuff before everyone else does. They get to engage on a personal level with me and they get a little bit more of behind the scenes. So if you're interested in getting on board with that, head to my Patreon page. The link will be down in the description. Thank you very much for watching and we'll see you next time on Off-Road Crusader. Cheers.